Hi, I'm David Limbrick from the Libertarian Party. Last week in Parliament, we were debating a motion about the SBS and the idea of moving their headquarters from New South Wales to Victoria. Now, I know lots of people want to do this, but I argued in Parliament that maybe we shouldn't be funding the SBS at all because lots of people can just watch TV on streaming networks anyway in foreign languages. But interestingly, the very next day after this video, after the debate happened, the SBS issued a copyright strike on one of our YouTube channels from a video from 9 years ago. Maybe that's a coincidence? I don't know, but why don't you watch the video and find out? Also would like to talk about the SBS and potentially moving it to Victoria. I'm a bit puzzled by some of Mr. Mulholland's comments about the SBS. I'll tell you why. When I was a young man, I used to watch the SBS a lot. And the reason I watched it was because I was living in the 20th century and it was difficult to watch foreign movies. And I could imagine, we have a very large immigrant population in Australia, many of them with foreign language speaking backgrounds. And it was probably very difficult for them to watch television in their own language as well. And so I can see how historically it would have had some importance to those communities. In fact, I live myself in I'm a member of my family is a member of the culturally and linguistically diverse community, and I'm the only person in my house that's even heard of the SBS. Literally no one in my house, everyone in my house is bilingual, and no one has heard of the SBS except for me because I used to watch it when I was younger. And in fact, my family, Southeast is a very diverse area, as Mr. Mulholland pointed out, but I have both friends of my family and friends of my kids. We know people from the Chinese, Malaysian, Indonesian, Indian, Russian, Ukrainian, just about every community that you can imagine. And I've never heard any of them talk about the SBS, and I certainly don't know of any of them watching the SBS or listening to SBS radio. And that's because from just about all of these communities, you can watch the shows yourself. Like, you can just watch, my wife watches Japanese television all the time. You can just watch it over the internet. You can watch anything you want over the internet. And even before streaming services were really popular, I know lots of people from the Chinese community and the Middle Eastern community used to see those big dishes on the top of their houses. That's because they weren't watching SBS, they were watching their own country's television from satellite TVs. That's why you used to see those satellite dishes everywhere. You don't see them so much anymore because you don't really need it anymore because you can just watch it over the internet like my family does quite commonly. But the other weird thing about all of this is with the SBS, I don't understand why it can't be just why does it need government funding at all? Now, I know Mr. Mulholland's ex-colleagues at the IPA did a lot of work on privatising the ABC, but the SBS, there's an even better case. It's already semi-commercial. They've already got advertisements. If you just increase the amount of advertisements a bit, change the streaming service to a subscription service, like every other service that people access these days, and defund it. And if people want to watch it, they can pay for it, like everything else that happens here. But instead, we want to move this, 1,319 employees to Victoria. I suppose it's nice to have lots of employees and stuff, but I don't see why taxpayers should be funding this at all. Now, the other reason that the SBS used to exist, it still exists, but not many people watch it, I don't think, these days, was so that Australians could watch foreign movies and be exposed to foreign content and see subtitles and stuff. And I was always interested in foreign movies. I used to watch lots of weird Spanish and French movies on SBS when I was younger. But lots of them actually, and a few Japanese movies too. But it just astounds me these days that anyone thinks that one of the top rating television shows in Australia now is Korean, Squid Games. It's in Korean, you can watch it in Korean. We happily watch foreign television all the time, and just about any streaming service, whether it's Netflix or any of these other ones, you can watch foreign movies, foreign TV shows, whatever you like. You can just pay for it and watch it. And some of it's really great content. Like, I'm a fan of Squid Games myself. It's a bit scary, but like, it's a interesting concept. And I love watching some Korean TV shows and Japanese TV shows. And I can watch TV shows from any part of the world, anytime I want, on a streaming service. And I don't need the taxpayer to fund it for me. I don't need the SBS to choose what I see. And here's another problem with the SBS. The SBS chooses what content they're going to show to Australian audiences. Now, let me tell you, that's a problem in itself. There's two problems here. One, you might be familiar a while ago, the local Vietnamese community, very large Vietnamese community in the southeast metro, were very upset with the SBS because they were showing stuff that was effectively the Vietnamese government's propaganda, the very government that they escaped to come to Australia as refugees from. They weren't very happy about it at all. And I'll tell you another thing. Well, they were very upset about it. And I'll tell you another thing. I've spoken to members of the local Japanese community about some of the stuff that SBS shows. And SBS only seem to show some of the weirdest stuff, and they show these weird fringe stuff from Japan that no one's ever heard of. And the Japanese people that I've spoken to are absolutely horrified that this is what their culture is being shown as to Australians. Luckily, hardly anyone watches it, but I mean, they're absolutely horrified that this is being portrayed as normal Japanese culture when it's like really weird fringe stuff that the SBS seems to choose. Always has been. Like, that's why people used to watch it, because they like the weird fringe stuff. But I used to like the weird fringe stuff too, to be honest. But so look, I don't support moving the SBS and having a physical presence. I support the SBS not having a physical presence anywhere.